live. Howler, what do you think? It's been a couple weeks since we've recorded a new Midweek Howl.
Yeah, I've let you down.
You let me down. No, it just we caught so much grief the last time you were on the road, and
Over the sound, or I forgot what that guy complained
over
about.
the sound. Yeah.
Hey, did he listen to our rebuttal to his complaint and re-complain?
Probably not. No, he didn't. Nobody ever does. They just like to complain.
You know what I mean? You'd think that they would.
But you were on the road again last week, and
I was.
So I picked out an old episode to put up there, and boy, oh boy, I got some messages. Hey, is everything okay? Everybody's worried. I don't know that they're worried about me, but they're worried about you because we didn't have a new episode up. And I'm like, man, people really count on a new episode. And it's so much pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like
so much pressure to do a new episode, or just so much pressure to what?
It's just pressure to do a new episode and make it worth people's while every Wednesday morning when they wake up. I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Like I know when I get up every morning, a coffee maker is going to come through for me. I'm not sure that we come through every Wednesday.
Here, hold on a second. This is what I was listening to. This is what I was doing. Can you hear that?
Yeah. So is that the Texas A&M marching band?
No, that's the 2,300 kids that are what they call the A&M Corps, which a lot of them are ROTC students and stuff. Yeah. And they have to do formation Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday every week for 4 years.
Really?
I would have done the whole thing. Yeah, huh?
So that's part of the whole going to school there.
Because, up until 1960, it was all male ROTC school. 100% of them were ROTC. They they commission more military officers than any other college except for the military academies. And then during World War II in Korea, World War I and World War II, they commissioned more officers than the military academy.
Wow. And you guys were there because your daughter was doing a college visit.
She wants to go there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, why does she want to go there?
She wants to be all she can be, So
she's interested.
Absolutely, she wants her college experience to be orderly, disciplined, without all, that's what she's looking for.
Mm-hmm. So unlike 95% of the other people going to college.
Yes. She wants to, she wants to do some professional stuff and maybe be a pilot. So,
well, that's pretty cool. So what did she think of Texas A&M?
She loved it. Now she had pushed her over the edge. She wants it all. She wants it all. Mm-hmm.
Holy. Okay. So from dad to dad, how much does Texas A&M cost a year?
They have the little proposals up there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to say this.
Go ahead, say it. Let's shock everybody into reality at the high cost of going to Texas.
If you have a ROTC scholarship with a military commitment, it doesn't cost you anything.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So is that the avenue she's going to go?
That's what she's going to apply for, huh?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, it's $58,000 a year.
Holy moly!
That's with room and board and a whole bunch of other stuff. Which I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes their numbers are probably skewed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. So, she can either get a scholarship or she's gonna go to a different place, probably.
Well, that's kind of good. That's kind of good that she's set her sights high and she knows what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't.
Well, or they don't until it's too late, right? I mean, they do when it's too late.
Yeah, you're right. And that's exactly, I don't know how long we've talked 2 or 3 different times a day, and I've managed to whine every time about how bad it was today at the post office. So today's Monday. We're recording this on the Monday. And I told you, if every month, if this is how it's going to be through Christmas, I may not make it. I may just I may just get my mail truck and drive it right into Lake Erie. I'm not kidding. Pack it full of packages. I had so many packages a day that I took a package out and took it to the guy's front door, set it down. As I got back into my vehicle, he came out and he looked at the box. He goes, "How did you even get that in your truck?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Just leave me alone." I got it out.
Because you had it so full?
The thing was huge. It had to be
It was like a refrigerator or TV or what? I mean, what do you mean?
it was I don't even know what it's probably it was at least 3 to 4 foot square. Okay.
What
it was
was it?
big. Well, he said it was a car part.
A car
he
part,
said-
like a freaking block or what? I mean,
Don't know, but it wasn't heavy. And his point was, man, this box didn't need to be that big. And when I put it in, it was the last thing I put in the truck this morning before I left. And I put it in and the door wouldn't come down. So then I had to take it out and move some boxes around. And then the door would come down, but it wouldn't go all the way closed. So I had to pull it. So this giant box, took way more time than what it needed to be. But we should have never taken Saturday. We should have recognized Veterans Day on Friday, worked Saturday. And I'm only saying that because I had already had the day off on Saturday. But man, this time of year we can't take like 3 days off and then or 2 days off in a row and then come back. It just from deliver mail. It's too much stuff. People are just I mean, man, they just buy a lot of stuff in the mail.
I was reading this morning that said that I'm not even going to say what it said. I read too much.
That's terrible. Like, well, I will say I was in Amish country on Saturday again, and
they don't order too much, do they?
No, but I'm going to tell you what, these know how to sell it.
What were they selling?
Everything. Every time we go back to Amish country and take this road, it's Route 39. It goes through like Millersburg and Berlin and sugar. There's some business that 2 months before was basically a lady sitting on a folding chair selling 5 or 6 pumpkins and sitting in front of her. And now they got a warehouse and are shipping all over the world 2 months later. That's what it seems like. These places just grow so fast and it's amazing. Like I remember there's a place called Hirschberger Truck Patch that I'm not kidding. It was in the corner. It was like round a curve. And they literally for a couple of years, all they sold was pumpkins. And it was a table with, and then maybe the next year they build a little wooden, lean-to where they could get in out of the sun or something and sold some vegetables. You go there now, it's like 4 buildings, go pick your own pumpkin patch. When I say buildings, they're not small. They're selling
like
food.
Big old steel buildings or something.
Oh yeah, they're selling food and produce. They got a petting zoo. You can go out there.
Petting zoo.
They got goats that can get up on top of the one building and run around, and like it is a circus out there. And people it's jam packed every time.
Where's all these people comes from?
They
Columbus
come from
or someplace or where?
New York and Pennsylvania and Cleveland and Columbia. Yeah.
Pennsylvania's got its own Amish, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's down south. It's in the southern part down there. I remember driving through it. We came back through from Hershey one time. And it's in the southern part. And at least the part we drove through is nowhere near what it is in Ohio. Now, I may be wrong. There may be different parts of it that are, but those Amish in Ohio, they got it made, man. They know how to sell the stuff, it's amazing. And we were there buying, we were just as guilty, man, just as guilty. We were on our way to our friend's house and had to do shopping along the way. Yeah. So, which reminds me, my daughter. Let me see if you know where this is. My oldest daughter, last week, because my middle two They don't talk to me still. Anyway, still waiting on my.
That's because you haven't gotten rich yet. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a lot richer than than they need. Anyway, so my oldest daughter likes to travel and stuff, and she starts sending me these pictures, and she goes, "Guess where I'm at?" And I said, "Oh," I kind of looked familiar. She goes, "I'm at the Stanley Hotel." Do you know what the Stanley Hotel is?
Well, the Stanley or the New Stanley? The New Stanley, I think, is in Africa. The Stanley Hotel, I don't. The one in London or where?
No, the one outside of Denver that they filmed The Shining.
Oh yeah, I've been there for Rocky Mountain National Park.
And so, have you been to the Stanley Hotel?
Times? Yeah, heck yeah, I got pictures on my phone. I've been there at least 3 times.
It was amazing. I mean, it's such an amazing looking place, and so that led to the conversation. Christy had never seen The Shining, and so I think last Thursday or Friday night, she goes, "Well, let's watch it." And in 70s movies, well, of course that was 1980, but it still has a real 70s feel to it. Those are some heavy movies. You know what I'm saying?
My kids were showing me something from Children of the Corn a while ago. They were making fun of it, and it looked like you made it on I don't even know. It was so stupid looking.
No, wait a second. You're talking about the original Children of the Corn?
Yeah, it had this little kid on it. Supposed to be on like a scarecrow getting burnt up or something. And they were sitting there making fun of it. Look how stupid it looks.
But The Shining, was it wasn't as when I say scary.
It's Kubrick. Did Kubrick do that, or who did it?
Stanley Kubrick from a Stephen King book. And I mean, Jack Nicholson plays a great. I mean, he just goes right down the tubes better than any guy I can remember in a long time. He really plays. But man, Shelley Duvall has a unique look. I must say, she's kind of an acquired taste, I think. But some of her acting was like when she's scared at the end. That was the worst part of the movie. I do have to admit, her acting wasn't so hot, but it was great. Scatman, I forgot how good Scatman Crothers was in it and stuff.
I never knew that until just now. I'm looking it up.
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, what did he do in that?
I've
never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I don't watch scary movies.
It's not that scary.
Well,
I mean, it's I mean, you know the story.
You said it was a Stephen King book?
It's a Stephen King book. And basically what it is Jack Nicholson's character is a teacher, and he wants to be a writer. And so the Stanley Hotel closes from October 30th till sometime in March, and they need a caretaker up there. And so
it's supposed to be haunted, right?
It is.
I mean, in real life, they claim it could be haunted.
Well, yeah, one of those ghost hunter shows was there and had some cool stuff to it. I mean, the stuff in the movie obviously has nothing to do with the hotel. It just was a great setting, but it was enough for Christy to say, "Well, we're never going there." I'm like,
it's a great place. I mean, if you turn around, it's the whole town. Winter Park is there.
So it doesn't just sit up in the mountains all by itself.
No, my God! If you turn around, there's freaking McDonald's 600 yards, 1,000 yards away. I bet you not that far. I bet you a good, like Rick Ankiel.
Oh yeah, from the car.
I bet you, because it's downhill. The hotel sits up on the side of the hill. I bet you he could hit. I know he could hit the supermarket with a baseball. He could probably hit McDonald's with a baseball.
Now, could he, or he would at least try? Because didn't he have to quit pitching because he couldn't throw a strike?
No, but they moved him. No, but they moved him to the outfield because he was one of the only people they said anywhere in the field. In any field in the country, if he was at the wall, he could hit home plate with a throw.
Really?
Does that make sense? From the outfield, if he was throwing back from the warning track, he could throw all the way to home plate.
Yeah, but he started as a pitcher, and he developed the yips or something and couldn't throw a strike.
Well, they made him be the opening pitcher of I think he was 20 or 21, and he was the opening pitcher at the World Series, game 1 of the World Series. And by the 3rd inning, he was taken out because I guess it gets in your brain, right? I mean, I guess it's stressful. I guess you know what I mean when you're.
Yeah, it's like it's like putting. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
It gets
Back in the
gets in
day,
your head.
Stan Musial, them guys, they'd give him a couple drinks of wild turkey before they put him out there, or had a girl in the dugout to help him through from counseling or something. But these modern pitchers, they just throw them out there to the wolves.
Wait a second.
We've all seen Bull Durham, right?
Oh. That wasn't Stan Musial, though. Did you say Stan Musial?
Yeah, I don't know. Stan was he was known to pitch through thick and thin, wasn't he? Wasn't he a pitcher first?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, I think he was, wasn't he?
No. You're thinking Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was a pitcher first, not Stan Musial.
I'm looking him up. I thought he started as a pitcher.
No, he didn't start as a pitcher.
Saying the man, he's 3-time world champion, 3-time MVP, 7-time National League batting champion, 2-time National League.
Yeah, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
Well, that's because he missed the 45 season because he was in the Navy.
Yeah, but a lot of those great guys, Bob Feller, Bud Williams, all those guys missed.
Hey, at 15, he joined the Nora Zincs, a semi-professional team managed by Barbeo. I don't know who this Barbeo guy is. Hey, he had his pitching debut. Now he's 15 years old. He pitched 6 innings and struck out 13 batters, all of them adults.
So he pitched as a kid.
Yes. He was teammates with Buddy Griffey. I don't know who, father of Ken Griffey. Oh, he played with Ken Griffey and grandfather of Ken Griffey Jr.
So he played with Ken Griffey's dad, like the old man's dad.
Yes, he played with Buddy Griffin, father of Ken Griffey, grandfather of Ken Griffey Jr. This is in the 30s.
And do you know? Yeah, I'm reading it right now. You know who his favorite? He played with Buddy Griffey. Huh. You know who his favorite baseball player was? Lefty Grove. How about that?
I didn't realize that. I thought you were going to say, no, shoot. Who got banned from baseball? Pete Rose. I thought you were going to say Pete Rose.
Pete Rose wouldn't have been born back then.
I don't know. He was. You want to bet on it?
That Pete Rose wouldn't have been born. He would certainly have been playing baseball.
I don't have a hi hat. I got to hit my metal desk. Get it? You want to bet on it? You missed it.
I got it.
Lefty Grove, some great grandfather of yours.
You would have bet on it. That's terrible.
But somewhere over your head.
Somebody appreciated that.
Somebody did. He played for the Columbus Redbirds. That's where he started.
Really?
Columbus Redbirds in 1941. Oh my God! You knew who his manager was? Bert Schotten. That can't be a kid to Marge, was it?
Well, it's Marge Schott.
Oh,
not Schott.
I don't even want to talk. I don't even watch baseball.
Mm-hmm. And now nobody that's listening is going to want to watch either.
They don't. Yeah, they don't even know this shit. People listen won't even want to listen to this podcast, much less look at baseball game.
So I didn't get to tell you. So we had that movie premiere a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And so they made this big deal about Buster Douglas was going to be there and signing autographs. Well, not only does Buster Douglas not come.
Good.
Okay. I didn't know like how big his part was in the movie or what he did. But I'm sitting there and all of a sudden he plays himself in the movie and this little girl's getting bullied and he comes over and he delivers this line. And it was so bad, how he said it, and how it was just so bad. That was it. Like, hey, oh gosh, something about even though I was heavyweight champion of the world, I was bullied and something else, and I heard what you guys did, and it ain't cool. And that's basically it. And I'm like,
couldn't pull a Bronson and go beat the shit out of somebody.
No, he didn't even do that. And I was a little bit ticked off because whatever they paid him, they should have paid me because I delivered my.
You could have played. Hey, you could have played Buster Douglas.
I don't think I could have played Buster Douglas, but I could have played.
Did you see Tropic Thunder? You could be a dude playing a dude dressed up in disguise as another dude.
That's that's a couple layers of intricacy that we were not striving for on this project. But it was bad. And then I talked to somebody later who knew a little inside baseball and said that there I mentioned baseball again. Said Buster can't really learn lines. He has to improvise.
I've heard that. I've heard muscle.
Apparently, had a stroke.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I heard muscle guys can't learn lines very much. So,
but yeah, that was his only part. That was his only part. It lasted about 30 seconds, and whatever they paid him, it was way too much.
Well, maybe he needed it. Maybe it was a hand out or hand up.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to read for every part I think Buster Douglas is gonna try to get now, because I think I can beat him.
So, did we get any hate mail or fan mail last week?
No, we just got people that were concerned. They thought that maybe you were sick or something happened.
Put a can out and maybe got some donations. Say, oh yeah, he's broke down in Tuscaloosa, and we're trying to get him back.
So the trip there and back was uneventful.
Yeah. You're in America. What the hell can happen to you here? Besides car trouble or something. Now, I know crime's running rampant in places, but I dodged Dallas. I didn't really, you know what I mean? No, I don't have any problems.
Well, I'm talking to one of our old friends tomorrow. Our friend Stacy Brown.
Yeah.
Has a brand new documentary out on Amazon. It's called the Conjuring House Experiments. The Conjuring House from the movies, The Conjuring or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about, but I didn't see the movie.
So they obviously get into it more with him, but they did these experiments at this house based on a old CIA experiment, and the CIA experiment was one that they felt if we could tune ourselves to a certain frequency, we could open the gate to another dimension.
Oh, I was going to say two-front war for the military-industrial complex.
Oh, jeez. So I'm excited to talk to Stacy and get a little more detail on this CIA experiment.
And your brain would automatically be the receiver? That makes no freaking sense whatsoever. I mean, how many millions of dollars did we spend on this?
I don't know, but it was like in 1980 or something, and they found the files on it or whatever.
And that dude's driving a taxi. What was that movie? Conspiracy Theory, right? Yeah, he's Mel Gibson driving a taxi in New York.
Well, it's more like the member the Men Who Stare at Goats. I
didn't watch the movie, but I've seen the trailer and some stuff.
Yeah, that was the CIA doing the remote viewing experiments, like people that trying to see if people.
How would you? You know what? The guy that gets the movie I want to watch is the dude, the outside salesman that gets to call on them to sell them this stupid shit. That's who I want to talk to.
The guy, it's the same guy. Apparently, the same guy calls on the post office too.
Yes, the guy that can sell some of this stupid stuff to these government purchasing agents has got to be good looking or a rock star, one or the other. It's a 6-foot Eastern Bloc former model, okay, that looks like the former first lady, or I don't even know. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, what kind of PhD dude sitting around a table thinks that you're going to be able to do telepathy via a goat? What happens if they were a faint goat and bad shit happens? The goat keeps collapsing.
Well, it doesn't really have anything to do with goats. I mean, so you don't believe in any of the power of the mind and stuff, huh?
I'll tell you what I was doing when you texted me. Said, "Well, you were ready a while ago." I was up there with my daughter watching this documentary about the good nurse. I'm talking about the nurse that killed a couple hundred people, they think, in New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
No, I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh, dude!
We have our own here in Ohio.
And that's what I told my daughter. I said, "Well, there's been several," and she goes, "No, there hasn't." I said, "Yes." I said, "Hell, there's one at the VA in Columbia, Missouri. I remember when I was a cop."
Oh yeah, there was a doctor here in Columbus, down in Columbus, and he actually killed They believe a guy that was a really well-respected referee, basketball referee around here. They think he was one of his victims.
Yeah. So, and he started out, he was crazy as hell. We're just barely, my daughter told me the documentary is a lot better than the movie. They made a movie about it, but she said the documentary where they're actually talking to the cops and some of the, co-workers, and they all talk about what a great nurse he was. But he was crazy as hell. And I was reading, of course, like I can't start watching one of them without Googling some of the stuff up and saying, is this for real? And I guess he started killing AIDS patients who were terminal anyway. He was watching them just lay and linger for weeks on
so he felt like he was putting them out of their misery, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that segued into, I'm bored tonight, I'm going to see if I can kill somebody. And most of them were elderly people, and of course you got the families on there saying, hey, he was on a ventilator and he had been hospitalized for 3 weeks and he was 92, but boy, he was getting better,
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Come on, dude.
No, look,
92 on a ventilater.
I know. Laying down. Yeah. I know.
And the one gal said, well, I'll see you tomorrow, Dad, or, Uncle Bill or whatever. This dude was an uncle because he was a Catholic priest. And she just knows that he acknowledged her with a little smirk as she walked out. So even though he was unconscious for, days on end, he could hear her. I don't know. That's just me being an ass, I guess. No,
I know what you're saying, though, is that, I don't understand, because, that's similar to what the guy up here did. And I can't think of his name, but he was, I think, was he an intern? I think he started out as an ambulance. Driver and tried to kill some of his co-workers with rat poison on their donuts, so I never eat donuts when people bring them into the post office because
serious Pete, what was he going to kill his co-workers for? Rat poison don't do shit to people. Too bad. Look at how big a rat is compared to a human being. I probably weigh as much as 1,000 rats. So you'd have to give me a 5-gallon bucket of that shit.
I think he was. Well, those are some really, really nice powdered donuts. I think he was trying. I think he was trying to see doses. He was trying to figure out how sick he could make people. And then that's why we don't have that. Hold on a second. Not that you were just talking about Stacy Brown conjured up. That's why we don't have any extraterrestrials or ghosts and shit, because they come back to this world and they see what's done and they freaking leave. You just think they're come on.
Yes,
really?
Come on. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, I'll bring that up to Stacy tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why we can't have any good,
Can't have anything nice?
Yeah, I was going to say aliens, but we got a shitload of aliens. I'm talking about the extraterrestrials. We can't have any extraterrestrials because they're coming back going, man, we got rid of the Incan Mayans, with a meteor or something. The best you can come up with is rat poison on donuts.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.